I guess very good evening, everyone. People who have joined. Very good evening and welcome to the 11th episode of Metamorphosis webisode programs. Like I mentioned earlier, today we have. Hi, ma'am. Hi. I think your voice is not audible. Yeah. Meanwhile, anyways, let me just introduce you all to today's speaker. We have Ms Meenakshi Uberoi, who is the founder CEO of DE Pedagogics, who is an eminent speaker who is passionately involved in coaching, teaching, and learning. She designs curriculum and trains educators to equip and assist teachers in creating innovative, challenging, and enriching classroom environments that are conducive to students become lifelong learners. And today, I've invited Meenakshi ma'am to talk about 21st century skills. With a lot of uncertainties that are happening for the past 120 days, I wanted to get some insights on how the entire future of skills is going to incline towards. And Ms. Meenakshi Uberoi is also Microsoft Innovative Educator Trainer, MIE Fellow, and an expert educator. So today we have lots and lots of principals joining the session who are watching us live on Facebook, and we have students who have been admitted in Metamorphosis School, who are pursuing entrepreneurship right from grade 6th and above. And we have certain aspiring entrepreneurs also, especially in the field of education, who are trying to start their own ventures in the education field. And we are going to gain insights from Meenakshi ma'am. And once again, thank you so much, ma'am, for joining. And I welcome you to the webisode session of Metamorphosis.
Thank you so much for inviting me, and thank you everyone for joining us here. And I hope this is going to be a fruitful session. Really glad to know that a large audience is with us today, and I hope I'm able to give you the worth of the entire session today. So thank you so much for this opportunity here.
Yes.
Let me know whenever we are ready to begin the session. I will.
Sure, ma'am. Sure, ma'am. So before we begin the session, I just wanted to have a quick chat with you on, how was your last 120 days, and especially in the education, what's been going on. So many challenges that from the parent side, from the principal side, from the student side, there are a lot of challenges that are there. So how is it for you? I mean, for the past 120 days.
One word: busy. Super busy. Because I think in every challenge lies an opportunity, and I think we just had the opportunity and the great fortune to actually interact with multiple educators and students across the country, and we're very proud to share that at DE Pedagogics we have touched more than approximately 35,000 lives in the last 3 months. Yes, and all these are educators or school leaders in some other part of the country, whether you count it Far East, up north in Jammu and ahead, places we hadn't even heard of. So I would say, especially for the education industry, I think this is the time to pause and applaud the efforts that have been brought together by school leaders, their vision, educators who have just jumped onto the technology bandwagon, and a team of I think also the corporates, because who have just lent and opened their doors in empowering and skilling up the educators to do the needful. So even if it was busy, it was good busy.
Yes, I got it. But a lot of transformation that has happened over the last 120 days. I'll get back there, ma'am. So we can have last 15 to 20 minutes as our fireside chat session, and also we'll open up the queries from the people that are there. So we can start our session now on the 21st century skills. And there are a lot of parents who are also watching this program. One thing that I always listen to them is, in this, especially in this 21st century, what are the skills that they have to teach their kids at home, or as an educator, what are the things that they need to teach, because they can't dynamically change their curriculums and then teach at the school level. But at least at home, what are the skills that we need to focus on? And I also wanted to know more about, DE Pedagogics, how it is disrupting this entire ecosystem, so that we can see some good opportunities along with a few of the principals, and we can we can see what is the best opportunity that we can give to a lot of students here.
Great. Thank you so much. Certainly. Let me start by actually introducing us as Deep Pedagogics, if it's all right, and then we'll embark on the journey for 21st century skills. I would rather call them future ready skills, 21st centuries already. Yeah. So, what I would also want to focus on is what is it that you want to do? And I'm very glad that we have a diverse audience today between parents, educators, school leaders, and students. It gives me a great opportunity, and I'm thankful to you for giving me this opportunity to interact with everybody and get their perspective as well. So I have always believed in having an interactive session, and I really want you to interact with me. Keep two things around you if you don't have any device where you have a browser and an internet connection. I will give you an opportunity to share your thoughts. Number two, also have an object of your choice with you, okay? Just an object of your choice which represents you, all right? Just about some of you, because I can't have you here talking to me in person, let's just begin the note on that note, and then do remind me if I don't touch upon these two things that I've asked you to keep ready. So if you have them ready, great. If I forget, you need to remind me of that, but I'll try not forgetting. So let me introduce us by letting you know that Deep Pedagogics is an enterprise that came into being about 5 years plus back, and we completed 5 years in February this year, and very proud to say that we have actually diversified and gone ahead, literally gone with the flow of things as they came along with us. We never started with the vision of just getting to know just about the entire ecosystem. We were here to nurture education. So we were a group of three who started this whole endeavor, and we came out of the classrooms with a vision that we would like to nurture learning, because in the classrooms, the way learning was happening, we were, all three of us are ex-educators, and Jyoti, Chaba, and Meenakshi Uberoi, along with me, are the three people who conceptualized Deep Pedagogics. And we had a vision of nurturing education and trying to bring in education in the way it should engage my learners. That was a simple vision that we had, and we were very passionate about our vision. And here we sit today, 5 years on, and we are the country's leading partner with Microsoft. And over the 5 years, we have been a learning partner with Microsoft, transforming education in every part of the country, and bringing learning opportunities there. So there are various programs that we've been part of, and I can very safely say that for anything to do in education, Microsoft does approach. We were the first people to be approached, and to reach out to every educator, because I think being educators, we just resonate with their way of thinking and learning. So yes, we have been a part of the Showcase School program, MIE Expert program, and other programs as well. We also are Adobe learning partners, and we bring Adobe Digital Disha program and Adobe Creative Cloud programs to every education sector, whether it's K-12 or higher education. And we've also, last September, launched Apple Teacher program in India. So we partnered with Apple to bring in Apple Teacher program also in India. So apart from that, we do content writing, we do curriculum design, we work with Cambridge University Press as one of their content writers. We're engaged in, we're just about wrapping up one of the math series that is written afresh by us, and very excited for the release. So we will keep you informed. And there's Pearson that we work with. There are multiple partners that we engage with. So anyone who has a genuine way of bringing a learning platform for educators, students, or teachers, I think we have an answer for them, because we know how to take it to schools, and I think we just struck a good chord out there with the schools. So that's what Deep Pedagogics is, and I'm the CEO of Deep Pedagogics, and I own and run the enterprise. Of course, we are into sales and purchase of the licenses as well. That's also one of the wings that we do own. But our best effort is that we try and bring you opportunities that do not involve much cost or no cost actually. With Microsoft, many of the programs do not have a cost. With Adobe, many of the programs do not have a cost. So if you're looking for transformation, go ahead, buzz me. I am definitely going to help you out there. We're trying to meet you where you are. We wouldn't want to push you anywhere. So that was all about the pedagogics, and I think it was kind of a longish introduction. However, what I'm going to do is I would want to start sharing my screen. So allow me to start sharing my screen. I am more of a Microsoft Teams person, so I am finding my icon. There you go. I got it. So, oh, you've disabled it actually. So may I request you to please enable it?
Yes, I did. I just did.
Okay, thank you. So here we are. I am going to share my entire screen with you so that whatever I play for you is all here. All right. So here we are. So why we are here is because we are talking about future ready skills for young entrepreneurs. And you've already had my introduction, so I'm just going to skip this slide and I'm going to move forward. Why are we here is because we want to talk about the modern workspace. How has it changed? Where has it changed? And why has it changed? What you will notice is that there are a few areas that have predominantly transformed. In fact, I would say we are we're sitting in a space where we have seen this transformation happen over the last few months, and we have seen that today's workforce is different. We were only talking about every student who was trying to come out of the college would want to have some time off to try something on their own, and they would be they would be a youngpreneur, if I may call them that, and they will want to try something. Somebody would design an app, somebody would try a service. My own daughter is pursuing her passion of being a desigpreneur. So there are very kind of all of a sudden they were mushrooming up. There were different designations, there were different professions that are coming up. So that has taken the leap. With the kind of COVID situations that we have, because we are all at home and we have the thinking space to think about that modern workspace. So what's changed in this modern workspace is that there's always mobile. There's people are always mobile. They're on the move. You would have seen the WeSpace or so many WeWork places or other workspaces which are mobile, which are open, where you can sit anywhere. In fact, if you walk into any of the Microsoft offices, you'll see there are no cubicles to sit. So you could walk in and sit in anywhere. You can work from anywhere, anytime. You're always on the move. And because we grew up, and especially these young generation has grown up in an environment with social networking being one of their major areas of interaction. I think it's imperative that they do get the same kind of space in their workspace as well. So even in our workspace, we have multiple social interaction mediums coming in, whether it's Microsoft Teams or Yammer or Slack or Blue Jeans or Zoom for that matter. So yes, there are multiple ways in which we have started interacting, which slowly we used to, I remember the days when we only had Skype for Business, which was purely official, right? So only in offices people would use that. And if I had to talk to some relative of mine or friend of mine who lives abroad, I would use Skype. But we've moved beyond all of those days, and it's actually organic for any of us to use social networking. And if I've switched on my video, that's rare. We don't do that these days. The only thing that we do is we just chat. And however much my generation might not understand, but I think these young children like to chat a lot. Therefore, that chat space or that workspace has transformed and changed. They would not drop an email. They would rather ping me to say, or just drop a chat message to say, hey, if you're available, I've got this issue. And that issue has to be resolved there and then, and it cannot wait. So we need a workspace wherein we're able to accommodate all of this social networking. 90% of our workspace thinks that online is as good as or better. And I think, I don't know whether we owe it to COVID or not, but yes, we all have come to a belief that online workspace is possible, at least. And we are rethinking and already reshaped multiple spaces to work just about online. Well, the non-traditional 75% of the graduates are under 25 years old. So, you know what I'm talking about right now. Well, if you don't, hold on a minute. I'm going to help you also envision what are these future ready skills that we are talking about. The future ready skills that we are talking about is not about only creativity, critical thinking, computational thinking, communication, and collaboration. All these 5 C's, when once put together, lead to the 3 E's of employability, entrepreneurship, and economic development. But at least especially today when we are sitting almost on, if I may say, it is safe to say, if not in the middle, at least towards the edge, other edge of the COVID days, we are now looking at transformations or days or ways in which we can survive post-COVID. Right, so we've already started looking at hybrid solutions. We've started looking at blended models and so much more. And yet we have a large population which is still thinking, sitting still to think it's going to end. And we're going to go back into our lives just the way we were, because that's what is comfortable. But what is comfort in the world of innovation and future readiness of our workforce? We have to jump out of these comfort zones to actually experience what life could be. And many of us have. For those of you who are still skeptic, really, are we really not going to go back? Well, I'm trying to give you a hybrid model or a blend model. I'm not saying you're not going to go back. You might go back, but there are a few things that might have to change when you go back. So how are they going to change and how should we be looking at them is what I'm here to explore. But before I go forward, let me put it this way, that the core competencies will be critical, that will remain critical, will be communication, critical thinking, computational, and design thinking. With design thinking, once again, that's one element that has come into our conversations. And we are looking at more of computational and design thinking together rather than two separate elements and putting students into a classroom and just giving them a few things to make a few things. There has to be computational thinking attached with design thinking because the two go hand in hand. And how? But why this transformation? Once again, I'm not sure if I should actually be answering this question even now, because why transformation? I think I'm going to pause and I'm going to ask you to write a few words, because when I talk at length, I have to take a pause and see what my audience think about computational thinking. So let's see, what do you think? Why transformation? I've given you the 4 pillars, which are the standard pillars of, yes, there has to be the economic impacts of social inclusion, job creation, and thriving communities need to be created. But why? Let's hear from you. What comments do you see coming into our chat window?
There are already a few answers coming in. So Sukham is mentioning that recreation.
Okay, yeah, okay, definitely. What else?
To figure new patterns.
New patterns. I like that because yes, new patterns are emerging and we're going to talk about the new patterns as well. That's great. 2 more answers and I'll be ready to move forward.
So Parth is mentioning that transformation is important. It basically means change and development, which is very crucial in rapidly evolving world. Okay. So Mr. Bhushan has mentioned that all world scenario has changed and new patterns and designs are emerging.
You know, it's very safe to say that sitting in these forums, we can always say all world scenarios has changed. Majority, yes. But believe you me, we have been interacting with many people, and people are still thinking, this is only during COVID that we are going to do this way. I think I'm going to go back into my classroom. I'm going to teach the way I was teaching, or I'm going to live the way I was living. Evolution is a must. Thank you. That's a great word out there. Transformation is important. Basically means change and development. Definitely change, development in so many more meaning. I think that's a very heavy word to be used out there. And yes, it is an evolving word. So thank you for all those comments. And stay ready for me to give you more opportunities to write. So keep your fingers ready to type more. Okay, let's move forward from here. In a world that is changing faster than ever before, if you're not moving forward, you are falling further behind. How very much do you believe in this? Well, if we don't believe in this, believe you me, we are actually falling behind. Uh, we are in the fourth industrial revolution. We started with steam way back, went on to electricity, electronics, and now we are in the digital era. Do understand that, you know, while we were working, those models of learning or those models of working were extremely important at that time. For example, during the agriculture era or the industrial era, the whole lineup, or you know, the uniform way in which we were working or learning was important during that era. But no one said don't change after that. This is the only way that you could do it. Therefore, things are changing and changing at a rapid pace. And to keep up pace with those changing times, I think we need to innovate and we need to come up with the ways in which we can bring in learning to our learners in the way that they would like to learn. So being open-minded to multiple things, changing the way the dynamics of our society are changing is extremely important. And what better way to acknowledge that, you know, this is the digital era in the finest format, and that AI is playing a big role. Artificial intelligence is here to help us change and transform, and we will be able to take our workspace to the next level using artificial intelligence in our lives. Too high? Let me know if you can hear it now. Did you say yes?
Yes, we
Okay,
can.
fantastic. I'll just request everyone to just view this carefully, because there's something at the end or the other side of it. So be careful. All right. That was kind of longish, but let's hear from you. What is it that you could see in this video? What was your key takeaway? Let's see, what is it that you could see in this? Now, type away in the chat window, and I would love to read your comments. And I see so many of you already saying. You want a link to this video? Sure, I'll share, not a problem. But this is a very old video, I should tell you. It looks quite futuristic, but it's pretty old. Advanced technology, innovation, interconnected world, okay, future technology, okay, AR, okay. Okay, now I'm going to be specific. What type of gadgets did you see here in this video? Everything available at a touch. Life changes because of AI, maybe. What else? Okay, artificial intelligence still works only with humans. I love your comment. Who's this? Kiran, right? I love this comment of yours because nothing over there worked without the humans. Well, yes, the only difference being that while we are doing that, we need to be there. What is it that is your role play is changing? So what I would want you to do is, I am loving your comments coming in, and please keep them coming in because I would love to hear more from you. What you see in this video, like I said, this is not today's video. This is a slightly oldish kind of a video. You see it today, but this was made much way back, actually. So you see multiple future-ready skills here. What did you find most interesting in this? Okay, what is it that caught your eye to say, wow, that is something amazing? Automation, advanced technology, wireless technology, kind of, recreation, innovation, imagination. You hit the right words. More innovation. Well, yes, innovation is a non-stop process. You cannot say, I think we innovated real good iPhones and Samsung phones and we need to stop. No, we are here to innovate and continue innovation. Those are some of the answers that I got. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you to answer my second question over here. So I'm going to collapse this window and I'm bringing you a link, okay? Using this link, you need to give me answer to the second question. What skills will young people need tomorrow? What will be those future skills? I've given you a glimpse, but that glimpse is not really a glimpse into you know, whatever we've been talking about. So I want you to give me a glimpse of this. Okay, go to menti.com, use this code and give me an answer. I'm waiting for you. Go to menti.com. I'm also going to type this in our chat window so that you have it. Please go to menti.com. Type in this as your code. Your code is, just a minute, here, 551796. Okay, that's your code. Go ahead and type it, and let's see what your responses are. Okay, let me go here. Let me find my mentee. Let me present. There are two questions out there. As you type, the answers are going to be visible here. So I'm waiting for your answers to come in. Okay, hold on. As you give us your answers, we will see that you will be able to, you know, see your responses here. So I want you to find out which are the most important future skills that you think are on top of your mind and you think are absolutely essential, because there's so much that you have been hearing, listening, maybe even experiencing in your life for the last few, let's say, months. And I'm sure you have a set of, you know, ready. Okay, critical things. Very good. Critical thinking, problem solving. Now you go. That's where you're coming from. Oops and ooh, and I'll ignore those. Interest. Okay. What else? Interest is interesting for me because I think interest led kind of a project or curriculum is something that should be thought about very seriously. Personalization of learning is extremely important. Therefore, yes, creativity, I knew that's going to come in. What else? Give me a word that I might not have heard of, or it's different and something struck a chord with you. Adaptability. I would go 100% with that word because adaptability and agility are two skills to me that are extremely important while you're talking about innovation. Okay, problem solving, digital co-working, excellent. Look at this. Look at the way we have our, word cloud getting enriched with every word that is coming. Visualization, extremely important. Positive attitude, empathy. Okay, this is fantastic. Do you see it? Now, this is what a metamorphosis student would think like. You would go ahead and think differently. You would think out of the box. You would go ahead. I would say outside and inside the box. I'm not a big fan of just outside the box because when you think of about things that you're about to change, I think each time you add a word, do you see the dynamics of this whole word cloud? It's changing each time you add a word. We specifically chose this one for you today because we want you to see how every input will change and have an impact in the look and feel and the end product of what you will look like. So what's the skill that you need over here? The only thing that you're looking at is thinking skills. The only thing that you're focusing on is what's on your mind. How would you express yourself? How would you convey your thinking? And the world will change and transform and shape according to the way you think. Look at this rich word cloud that is forming up. Isn't it exciting?
It is.
It really gives me pleasure to say that I think I can very safely say that almost everybody in the group should have at least contributed to a word, and it gives you some confidence and some pleasure to see your word being a part of the word cloud that is being made right away. Keep doing that as I jump back and we will revisit this. So keep as during the session, as the words come into you or come to you, go ahead and keep typing over here. This page is open for you, and towards the end of the session, we'll see what this page looks like. Don't forget, this is only one part of what I told you that I'm going to do to you, and you're going to use your fingers. I have another part hanging, and I do remember that as well. So I hope you've opened up your minds towards future-ready skills. If you haven't, let me give you another perspective here. So remember Jetsons, or have you ever seen the Jetsons? Well, they were one of the, I think first, I think somewhere in the 60s they were launched, and they were one of the most popular. In fact, even today, we've seen students going back and looking at Jetsons and getting excited because they can resonate and they can think about it. But when Jetsons was aired back in 1960s, people thought this was too futuristic and the world can't change drastically in that much. If you look at the image that is in front of you, there are many things that have already happened. If you look at this, that's a kitchen, and a typical kitchen has a menu. Well, behind those menus, the way you want to choose, the kitchen is going to deliver that. That hasn't happened yet. And you and I really wish that would happen. Believe you me, more than me, your mom, or more than you, your mom is going to think like that, because that's what moms think like. I wish I would give my child everything that they're asking for. Healthy and junk should be calculated all by itself and balanced all by itself, and it could bring it out of my kitchen wall. This is something that looks very close to one of the gadgets that we are using already these days. Can you think of the gadget that you're already using doing this? Well, you're using hoverboards, you're using Segway. So Segway also took work because, because somebody thought of this innovation sometime way back in 1960s, and it's taking shape now. So look at this, kind of a tablet coming down and a doctor coming to see you over online. This was unimaginable back in 1960s. And look at us now. We are actually taking consultations online and it's already happening around us. So what's the skill that you're looking at? There's no one particular skill that you can talk about, but it's an amalgamation of multiple skills that will come at play. You cannot identify, one skill. Now, this doctor would have just studied medicine way back in his, college days. He would not have been taught the technology. But in today's day and era, I think everybody is a learner and they continue to be a learner for the longest time possible. And you're always a lifelong learner. With that, I think we also think about the way this could be the future of our aviation. We could be flying in our own capsules. And, there's an interesting study that we give to our students while we do the computation and design thinking. We give them a comparative of the Flintstones and the Jetsons. That's one of my favorites because there's a whole creative, automation place in the Jetsons, led by George, and then there are the Flintstones who show us the Stone Age. What has changed? What hasn't? What's the scope? And that's your starting point. It's really not me or you who's going to stop here or pause here to just create. It's all of us together working in collaboration, building on each other's thoughts. There's knowledge construction that is absolutely important. So don't just be a Google searcher or don't get into the race of searching for an idea. Think within you, get inspired from various things and then have your own way of saying it. My only way of presenting to you that Mentimeter was, by the way, I went to mentimeter.com over there. And my only idea of presenting that to you was, look at the way dynamics change when you start thinking. Look at the way things reshape when you start contributing. And every drop in that ocean really, really counts. It's up to us how we take it. And technology can be seamlessly integrated actually as a very powerful way. And we should be thinking about it if we haven't really thought about it and bring it into our teaching learning processes. There's loads that I can go on with, but I really want to pause here to check if we can take a few questions before we move forward.
Yeah, that is very interesting, Meenakshi ma'am. I mean, I wish that lot many examples, you've been sharing. So before I open up the questions to the audience, I have a couple of questions that I just wanted to get some insights from you. So you've been mentioning about 5 C's, especially in this future skills that are required. So in these 5 C's, the current curriculums or the current schools, or at least the existing educational framework, are we delivering these 5 C's to the students, ma'am? I mean, are we delivering it, or are we getting that knowledge, but are we not acknowledging it? Or how do we acknowledge that these are the 5 C's that we are getting from the existing curriculums?
I first want to ask you one thing. Who is this we?
Who is
this we? Are we talking about the four walls of the school? Are we talking about the school leaders? Are we talking about the educators?
I'm talking about the school leaders. I'm talking about the existing curriculum frameworks that are being delivered by our traditional schools. I mean, our schools that we are, doing. I'm talking about the standard schools where the students are going today, the K-12 segment schools.
Sure. Why I asked you that question is more often, educators and school leaders are given this beating about, are you really changing? Are you really transforming? But what we do not realize is that both the students and the parent are an equal contributor to that ecosystem. So are you really asking for that change? Are you really looking for that change? Are you really ready for that change? Look at the hue and cry that we have about the fee policies and schools not receiving the kind of backup that they should have received from schools. But having said that, every stakeholder has an equal responsibility to bring in that change. Are we really thinking and ready about it? Yes. Look at the number of forums that we have where we have people talking about it. Look at the way schools have jumped to actually provide you the kind of learning engagements that were not even dreamt of in those schools. Look at the way educators have taken that leap. Look at the way students have adapted. They're sitting in their home and they have the luxury of lying down, and we've seen enough memes coming up where a child is toppling out or buzzed out or frozen on the screen. Given all of that, there is learning happening. There are these skills that are being consciously brought into this learning space, and there is conscious planning around it that is happening. If I were to give you my own example, we were struggling till about, let's say, even about 6 months back. We were struggling to bring this into our into every classroom that we wanted to, because we had a number of questions, issues with financials, and basic mindset sometimes in the innermost cities. And today, what we are looking at is, I need to question whether I am delivering enough. Do I know enough to deliver enough? So if that gives you a way of thinking that yes, transformation is happening all around us, but it's a continuous process, and change isn't constant, right?
Yeah, yeah. Great. Thank you. And we have a question from Mr. Kiran asking why it's really important for us to adopt too much technology around us. Don't you think we are in any risk cutting down manpower and completely dependent on technology?
Um, Technology has always been a driver. It has always been an accelerator. It'll never take over. Yes, bringing down workforce might happen, but skilling up is happening along with. So the entire charter today with any of the corps worldwide is to skill up people. Because when you don't know what the jobs are going to be of tomorrow, what you can prepare everybody is to think in a way which is a flexible way of learning, flexible way of working, so that you're able to adapt to those kind of learnings. And that can happen because human interactions are still going to be predominantly the same or similar at least. We need multiple minds to be put into that whole mold to actually shape the future and work in the future. So if it is all about human, like many of you, even in the Mentimeter, you would have seen, humanized way of changing or transformation is important. So humans are not going to go away. They're only going to reshape, reskill themselves. Therefore, upskilling is something that's going to be a front runner for any one of us.
Yeah, yeah. And we have a question from Venkateswarlu. So he's asking, what is your perception on technology usage in higher educational institutions in India?
I'm not sure if I want to answer that. There are two ways of looking at it. There are fields that are definitive fields like engineering or medicine, where people have had slow adoption because there are a large number of institutes. And the only thing that we are looking at is taking in numbers and producing numbers. But now those numbers have definitely outpassed the number of jobs that are available for that skill set. Therefore, we have seen, even in the public sector, we've had discussions and rounds of discussions with VCs. I have myself chaired or been a part of those forums where we've had multiple VCs discussing with us, where is technology? How do we pace up? Because we were somewhere left behind and we need to pace up to come here. So there are multiple places from where they're learning. There are multiple places where upskilling is available, and self-paced learning platforms are available in multiple spaces, but it's only the motivation that is required, and the approach has to be top-down, I have to say that.
Yes, yes, yes. Ma'am, so when, what about the adaptability in the schools? I mean, we've been talking about higher education, but in the schools, at least for the past 3 months, I mean, did you see some good transformation in the usage of technology now that it has become mandatory medium of delivering the sessions? So how is it now for the past 3 months? How is the transformation?
Sure, it's not for me to say whether this is going to stay or not, because I am more on the push side, where I'm trying to help this happen. But I can, with confidence, say this is not going to go back to what it was. Everybody in the education sector, whether K-12 or higher ed, is talking about hybrid models, is talking about blended learning models between this online model and the face-to-face model. Face-to-face is not going away, definitely. It's required, it's needed. So because I happen to have spoken to a child in grade 2, and I said, are you missing school? And they're like, not really. And I was quite surprised. I said, grade 2, I would jump back into my classroom, go back to my friends, play with them, and do outdoor games, and everything is going to be very important for me. They said, no, I meet my friends every day online. So I'm like, wow. And I said, what about sports? Yeah, we do play that, but that's one thing that I miss. Okay, what else do you miss? You know what I miss? I miss sharing tiffins with my friends. That was not only cute, it gave me an insight that that's the human touch that you're missing. It's not only seeing you face to face, but it's sharing, it's making that connect with your friends. That is most important. So definitely there's going to be a change. There are changes. Schools that have opened up in a blended model. Some of the schools are still rethinking, but I think everybody takes their own time and pace to really pace up to the change, and that's fair.
Yeah. So we'll take one last question from again Kiran. So Kiran has extended that question saying that, nowadays if you see the current situation, people are working with technology only with brains, but not the physical activities. So this creating our physical health issues, and any comments on health? Why we are not creating something more humans health than technology? Because end of the day, we are humans and only need to work with this technology.
Are you talking about the health of your technology gadgets, or are you talking about your health here? Because both are at risk here. Because your gadgets are overused, your internet is overused, you are overused for that matter, and consumed out there. But yes, both definitely need to strike a balance. So we've had schools who started, wherein they started with the timetable just the way it runs in a classroom, in a school, in a physical environment. Then went back realizing I don't think that's possible because this is too much contact. So they've gone and made hours which are called contact hours. So students, now this is where adaptability comes in. Students were not ready to work in this way where they had to take a onus of their own learning and learn on their own. That has started happening.
Wow.
That's one thing that is extremely positive that I see. Because if you've not done the work, the learning is still going on just like the way it did, and it is being reported back to the parents. Therefore, there's a whole cycle. So the human touch is enabling this online learning to happen. Number two, you said that what about our health? Believe you me, we have schools who run their timetables as is, whether it is PE or class, or this is a yoga class or a wellness class. All those curriculums are also running wherein students have to take their device outdoors, stand with their device, and do it in a very safe way, whether that's your balcony that you're standing in, or you're picking up your yoga mat to do it in your room, which is a safe space. Children are doing it, and we have examples, multiple examples of those happening. But definitely it is a change, and I think in today's time you cannot really expect more than this. But moving forward, definitely blended models are something that will be required. Kiran, let me give you this, throw this at you by saying, I challenge you to create a space of learning which would suit your requirements, because you're the creator of tomorrow. Who are we to just say or disseminate this, this talk or this chat for that matter? What do you say,
Def-
Pawan?
yes, definitely yes, definitely yes. Because I am also getting lots and lots of thoughts on why are we just talking about entrepreneurship, or say, why are we just talking about the 21st century skills? But everyone has got requirements. So just now a person is talking about the health, or someone is talking about fitness. I mean, just before this, in the chatbots also we have talked about so many skills that are required. Yes, so creating a solution for all of these skills is something that is very much required, and we're trying our best to impart these skills for the 21st century futurepreneurs. That is one thing that we are doing. And one last question that I wanted to ask you is, do you see that the entire the schooling ecosystem, right from the hierarchies in the schools, can we see some good software engineers joining the schools now? Because after seeing the technology, because I also see that a lot of educators are also implementing the technologies. I've seen in Singapore, some of the schools, they're implementing the world's finest technology, where more than the teachers, there are engineers that are part of the schooling system. So after 10 years, can we at least see some good engineers? And also, apart from the content creators, can we also see that, the future entrepreneurs that are there after 10 years? Why can't they join back their school and implement some good technology in their school? So can we see that kind of transformation the schools are going to adapt?
Um, why do we say can we? I'm not sure. We must and we will. And I wouldn't want to put the 10-year bracket there. I think
Yeah.
it's absolutely imperative that we create that kind of a engaging platform and learning wherein we are able to give this sort of a platform for everybody, so that there's lifelong learning that is going to happen, right? I don't want to define, when this topic came to me, I wanted to, they said 21st century skills. I said, everybody's going to talk about the 5 C's, and I don't want to talk about it. I want to call it future skills, because these skills are not defined. Like you just now said, we're talking about health, we are talking about agriculture, we're talking about personalizing, we're talking about human skills. So there is no way that you can actually define the skills that you're going to look forward to. So it's up to us how we shape it. And I think all of us need to find that stem which we could take forward and change the world. So if we need to change the world, we need to define that set or skill set that is required to do so.
Interesting. Interesting. So, ma'am, what is the second object that you asked us to keep it ready? And what is?
Thank you. I was just wondering if, anyone would remember or not. All right. So here's what we are going to do. We're supposed to pick up an object of your choice, which defines you, which tells who you are. First, write, what is it that you have picked up? So in the chat window, write to me, what is it that you have picked up? And after that, I'm going to tell you the task. So go ahead and pick up, because this is just a 2-minute thing that I'm going to do. And you would have to think fast. So very quickly tell me, what do you have with you that is going to define you? My headphones, okay. iPad, okay. Okay. Book, pen, okay, watch, wireless mouse. Thank you. Great inputs. Pawan, how about you? What do you have with you? You're a part of this session.
Yes, I picked up my book.
He's got a book too. Fantastic. And what do I have?
Phone.
I have my phone. All right. So this is, you have your intelligence. Fantastic. Use that. What you need to do is, what is the obvious use of the object that you've just told me or shown me, right? What is one thing that you can do with it, but you've not thought about it, okay? Think of an alternative use, which is not an obvious use. Give me something that is not obvious. Think, and yes, use your intelligences to think about what could you use it for. If it were a book, if you were not to read it for the, reading, don't tell me you're gonna cover your glass of water with it, or give me something interesting, okay? Don't just give me the obvious ones. Let's see what you come up with.
Yeah.
My pencil and pen for drawing. You already do that. Give me something different. Okay, if it were a pencil, what do you think? What is the next good use of pencil that you would make? Okay, to highlight, too obvious. Speaker, too obvious. Oh, speaker, what are you going to use, Kiran? What to speaker? Okay, do something, say pen to this, or this to the speaker, okay? New science. Pradash, what do you mean by new science? What to new science? Pencil, now I can use it as a type pen on ATM machine. Good job. That's exactly what I'm thinking about, because we need to rethink what is around us. Don't just start reinventing things and start making more things. We already are cluttered. Go to your gadget store. It has so many gadgets. Rethink, reformulate. Think about what is it that you can do. Give me the second best use of that very, the environment. Okay, object, sorry. 7 years, group suggested me. 7-year-old girl suggested you. There you go. See, that's what I'm saying. I can't limit the skill set. I can't limit the age group. It's up to us. Everybody has to think. Everybody has to contribute equally. Pencil as a scale. Yeah, so many of us have used it in our classroom when we forgot a ruler in our geometry class. We would just quickly take up a pencil and use the other pencil as a ruler. Like a Bluetooth speaker. Right. Oh, okay. I like that. Okay. That's innovation. Now, you're going to make multiple use of the object that is already available, right? I have this wafer light phone available with me. All right. What is it that I should be doing? Well, the obvious users, I need a mirror. I definitely do not have one. Two is I could also use it as any of the ways in which we saw that video. You saw so many objects being used. Probably it could be also used. I could use it as my color palette. Kind of a decider as to it should give me color palette to see what I could use to actually use in my for my coloring or my writing. For example, right now, if I have to write in a PowerPoint or a Word, I have to go to my top ribbon, go to draw, pick up my color of my choice and do that. If I want to skip all those steps, what innovation do I need that I should have that on my fingertip? So if my fingertip could hold so much that it could run a phone, what else do you think it could do? Fantastic. And of course, suggested to me that use an old remote battery to type with the pin. Exactly. So innovation is going to come out of your need. So your need to do and your need to share. I'm going to close this on a thought that I definitely would want to share with you. And that is that we definitely need to a population prepared for the future of work, and lifelong learning and workforce transformation cannot be done without education. So if you are in any way attached to education industry, please do your due and help us prepare that population for being the workforce of tomorrow. Thank you so much. I think you've been a great audience. I've enjoyed, meeting you here. I've enjoyed interacting with you, and you've been interactive. So thank you so much, and thank you, Pawan, for your partnership in the entire session.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much for your insights. I think we thoroughly enjoyed the session. I just wish that, we have good time to interact with you. But yeah, all our perceptions have completely, at least, they have enhanced, they have been enhanced. Now I'm going to, practice this. I'm going to take one object, I'll just see, what are the different use cases for this, how can I solve different problems with the existing objects. I think it is definitely one of the best insights and also perceptions that I've got. Once again, thank you so much for your time, ma'am. And we thoroughly enjoyed the session. We'll keep in touch, and also we'll be sharing our ideas with you. Just give us insights like this, and definitely, we are looking forward for many more sessions. And also, thank you so much for being our mentor for the students.
My pleasure completely. I think I really enjoyed the kind of interaction that I saw, and it's still coming in. So thank you for this interactive session. Thank you, everyone, for joining and being so interactive and supportive in the entire endeavor. And please remember, these skills are yours. Don't limit them, and keep redefining these skills.
Yes. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much. And also, I'm just going to talk about the next week orientation session with all the students. I just want to stop the screen share. Yes. So, guys, so next week, we have orientation session for all the Metamorphosis School students. So next week, there will not be any regular webisode. Rather, we'll be talking about Metamorphosis School. So we have Shri Jayesh Ranjan IS joining the session next week. And also there are many more, mentors that are helping our students joining the session. So the session will be live from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Anyways, we'll be sharing the details with you all. Join us for the live orientation session of Metamorphosis School. And I look forward to interact with you all, and take care and have a great weekend ahead. Thank you so much, ma'am. You were saying.
Yeah, just 1 minute. I read somewhere in the comments that they want to see the Mentimeter. Not bad. I'll just show them. Just one last minute. I will just share my screen, refresh my Mentimeter, and see what it says. Just a minute. And thank you for reminding. That was so nice of you. That's what our Mentimeter looks like. It has reshaped so many words, and I'll share a screenshot, and I even see the smileys and the laughters. Well, the human touch is always important. So thank you so very much.
Yes. Thank you, man. Thank you so much. And thank you, guys. I hope you all enjoyed this session. Please give your feedback on the chat box so that, uh, it will help us to understand better. Thank you. I think amazing feedback. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much, man.